Hi, Linda Sessions here, and welcome to week 3 of computer applications. Last week you learned about Access and you learned about coding. Hopefully you had some fun with those coding projects. I'm looking forward to grading them this week. I'm hoping to have all of your grades posted by Friday at the latest, probably sooner, but give me till Friday, please. And this week we're going to be starting in Microsoft Office. We will be using Office 365, the desktop version. So if you don't have that on your computer, make sure you check with our IT department. They can help you download a free copy of Microsoft Office to your computer and help you get it all set up so that you're ready to complete the assignments. There is an Office for Mac. However, it does not have all of the bells and whistles that the PC version for Word or for Office has. So you will need to utilize the WSU Tech Remote Desktop if you're trying to complete the assignments on a Mac computer. You'll be able to do some of them, but not all of them. Please do not try to complete these assignments using an iPhone or an iPad. That's just not going to work. So make sure you use a PC. If you don't have a computer, there's computers in all of our local libraries that you can access and use, as well as our campus locations have computer labs that you can use as well. Now, they will be closed on Monday, September 5th for Labor Day, so make sure you plan accordingly. Let's get into Blackboard and see what's happening this week in class. So here in week 3, you can see we have 10 minutes of time typing. Now, when you submit your time typing, I want you to make sure that you include the date somewhere in the screenshot. So you might need to make the screenshot a little bit larger, but on your computer monitor, some places you can usually see the date. So make sure that you include that so that I can see when you actually did that time typing and that you did it during the correct week. So you got 10 minutes of time typing. You have the Word Module 1 training. If you're new to Word, this is really going to help you a lot to understand how to get around in Word, how to enter in a blank line, how to bold text, underline text. If you're experienced with Word, some of it is going to drive you a little crazy because you're going to be, I know how to do this, and you go to do it and it doesn't count it right. If that happens to you, just breathe, go back, read the instructions, and just take it slow. You will learn some new things. You will have some things that you used to use all the time, but maybe you forgot about, and it's going to bring it back to mind. The training will help you complete the assignments in the class. Now, before you do the training, if you go into look at the e-text, there is also a lot of information in the e-text that is not covered in the training. So you can learn more by reading through the textbook. You don't have to complete any of the projects that are posted in the text at the end of it. There's an apply your knowledge and extend your knowledge at the end of the textbook. You don't have to do any of those projects, but look over the e-text. You're going to be learning a lot. Then we also have our Word Module 1 project, Associated Regional Hospital. Going to go to that in just a minute and look at that. Then you also have 2 critical thinking assignments, Worldwide Communication Flyer and the Table Rock Flyer. So first, let's go in and look at the end of Module Project 1. So I'm going to open up my module, come down here to the Do Word Module 1 SAM, and I'm going to click to launch. This is all due September 11th by 11:59 p.m. You can do these projects up to 10 times. The highest grade is what's going to count. I'll show you how to do that. So here in Cengage, when it comes up, I'm going to click on Start, and it's going to show me this chapter, if you will. I have download files. These are the files I'm going to need to complete my assignments. Once I'm finished with the assignment, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to drag my work, put it here in step 2, Then after I've put it in here in step 2, I'm going to submit it here in step 3 for grading. And when you submit it for grading, you will get a graded report, so you will know right away how you did on the assignment. So I'm going to download the instruction file, the starter file, and the supporter file. So there's 3 files you're going to need for this particular assignment. Let's open and look at the instructions first. Right here in the Getting Started part, it's going to let you know what documents you should have and how to save them. When you save any of the files for the trainings, when you download it, it's going to have your name in it, and you just need to take your name, and it's going to be followed by a 1, and you're just going to change that 1 to a 2. You want to make sure you save your files in a location where you can find them to submit them for grading. Once you have it saved, right here are the project steps. You want to do the steps in order. Don't skip around. So here in the first one, it wants us to change the document theme colors to blue warm. If you're not sure how to do that, you can go back to your training. Might have talked about it there. You can go back to the e-text. It's going to show you in the e-text where you change the document themes. You also have access to Google. Do a Google search. How do I change the document themes in Word? They'll tell you how to do it. Another option that you have is my YouTube videos. It's right there as well. I go over how to do that. So different ways that you can find how to do the steps. Once you're finished with step 1, go to step 2. After you've finished all 12 steps, compare your document to the document in the final figure. Do not try to just look at this picture to figure out what you need to do, because there's some things that are going on in the background here that you do in Microsoft Word that you'll get counted wrong if you don't do them. Your document might look the same, but you didn't follow the steps to get there. So make sure you follow the steps as you're working on the assignments. So I've got my instructions here. Let's come back and open up the starter file. The starter file is a document that you just need to go in and modify. You've already got some text on here. You're just going to go in and modify. You can see my screen comes up with this yellow protected view bar. I know that these documents are safe. You've downloaded them from a safe location, so you can just select Enable Editing, and now you're ready to save. So to save a file in all of the Microsoft Office programs, you're going to go to the File tab. I always do a Save As, and then my preference is to come down here to Browse. There's other ways you can save the files, and you might have a way that you do. This is the way I do it. I like to browse because I want to tell it exactly where I want it to save to. I'm going to come up to my Documents folder, and I'm going to save it there. Now you can see I have this 3 after mine. That's because this is the 3rd time I've downloaded this, so it lets me know this is your 3rd copy. And that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to get rid of that 3, and I'm going to get rid of that 1, and I'm going to replace it with a 2. And now I'm ready to save my document. I have it in my Documents folder, so I can find it later. This just lets me know, hey, you already have a file with that name. I want to replace it. So I'm going to say OK. And my dog Paris is barking at the window. So sorry about that. Now we're ready to go ahead and start working on our assignment. And as I said, the very first instructions were to change the document theme colors to blue warm. So I'm going to come back to the document. I'm going to come up to Design. I'm going to come over here to the colors, and I'm going to find blue warm. Now, my Word, I have auto save on, so it's going to automatically save it every few seconds. But I usually click on this save icon just to make sure it's saving. So let's pretend I've gone through all the steps, I've completed my document, and I'm ready to submit it for saving or for grading. I'm going to close the tab. I'm going to get rid of the instructions. I'm going to come back here to Sam. And you can close out of Blackboard as long as you have the files downloaded to work on, and you can come back in here. You don't have to do it all at the same time. I'm going to come here where it says click to browse files, and I'm going to find that file that I just created and open it. It lets you know right here what the expected file name is. If you do not have the correct file name, it will not accept it. So I've got my file right here. Now I'm ready to submit for grading. So here on step 3, I'm going to click submit, and it lets me know, hey, it's successfully graded. To resubmit the project, close the screen, go back to Blackboard, and open up the assignment, and you can resubmit it again. If you're not happy with your grade, you can change the grade and resubmit it up to 10 times. The highest grade's what's going to count. So let's look at the graded summary report. The graded summary report is going to show you exactly what it's scoring, what it's looking at, and exactly where you missed the points. So you can see I only got 8 out of 100. Anytime you see red ink on this graded report, that is something that you need to do. That is something that was counted wrong on your document. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the original document that you've made changes to and go back in and correct everything where it tells you what it's done wrong. And it's specific. And the grading for Microsoft Word is pretty good. It's pretty spot on. If you misspell a word, it's going to count you wrong. If you have an extra space, it's going to count you wrong. So make sure you pay attention to the details. You're going to make changes, and then you can come back. So I can find my file that I did. So let's see, let's open, find my document, and I can make changes for this top one. I want it to be caps, I think it was. Let's see. The headline paragraph should be formatted using capitalize each word. So I'm going to come back to my document, select this. Right over here, I have my change case. I want to capitalize each word. Come back to my assignment here. It wants me to change the formatting of my headline paragraph using a 36-point font. So I can come back here, make it 36 point. And I want to use the fill blue-gray accent color 1 shadow text effect. So come back here. So that's under the text effects and typography box. And I finally want to make it centered. So I'm going to come back to my document, and I'm going to center the heading. So now I'm going to save it again. I'm going to close it, close this graded summary report. I'm going to go back I'm going to close this tab, go back into Blackboard, launch that project again. Select the Start button, and I'm ready to upload that new document here. So I'm going to come back in here, select 2, open. I've submitted it. I'm going to submit for grading. Now I can look at my graded summary report and see if it's made any changes. And you can see now I have 16 out of 100. So I fixed what it said I needed to fix. And you can go through and just fix all of them and then resubmit them. Your highest score is what's going to count in Blackboard. Now, along with the graded summary report, you also have a study guide that you'll see. The study guide is going to bring up the skills that the assignment uses, and you have training. Like if you weren't sure how to change the theme colors, this is the training, like the observe, practice, and apply. So you can come in here and see, okay, well, how do I need to do that? And you can look here and you've got this training built in. So you have your graded summary report, and then you also have a study guide to help you submit the best thing you possibly can. Now, I don't know why this time is different on mine. It should be the local time, but I must have mine set up not on Central Standard Time, so I'll go in and check on that. So I'm going to close this now. And here in our class in Blackboard, you can see we also have worldwide communication flyer that we need to complete. And that worldwide communication flyer is not through Cengage. So you are not going to get your graded results right away if it says critical thinking. Okay, so here I've got my starter file. I have a rubric so you can see exactly how I'm going to grade it, and you have the instructions. So I'm going to download the starter file and the instructions. So the instructions are in a PDF format here. Let's look at my starter file. You can see I have text already typed in here for you. So you're just going to modify this text. You're going to follow the instructions in the instruction document, and finally your folder, your flyer, is going to look like this. Now, you can choose the picture that you're going to use. Sorry, throat's getting scratchy. You're going to be able to pick the picture you choose. You're going to be able to pick some of the font, but make sure you pay attention to the details, because some of it you need to be specific. So like you're going to increase the font line in the first line to 36 point. You're going to apply a text effect, but you get to choose which one. Just make sure it all fits on one line. So just read through the instructions, follow them. Your final document is going to look similar to this. And after you get finished with it, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add a picture here real quick just so you can see. I need to enable editing and file, do a save as. Look at my documents. And I am not as specific about your file names as Cengage is, but just make sure that you have your name somewhere in the file. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go ahead and add a picture here because I want to show you something that happens. So if I want to add a picture to my document, I'm going to click Insert, and here's Pictures. And I can pick a picture from my device, a stock image, or an online picture. Let's go to online pictures. I want a picture of somebody on a phone. And I'm just going to find whichever one you want. This guy, let's look at this one. It's a little happy picture. And I'm going to put the picture here. I'm going to format it and make some changes according to the instructions. So after I get it formatted the way I want it to look, I'm going to save it. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to come back to Blackboard, and I'm going to upload the assignment. So I'm going to come back here in Blackboard. I'm going to browse local files. I'm going to find that file and submit it. Now, when you submit it, this preview pane right here is not always going to show you exactly what you submitted. Now, in this case, it did, but sometimes it puts your picture up above the headline. Sometimes it puts it below it. Sometimes stuff's not going to be in the right location. Don't worry about that, because what I do when I go in and grade is I come over here and I download the exact document that you've submitted for grading. So if the preview pane looks funny, don't stress it. You can come here, download the file, and you can see exactly what I see when I'm going to grade. Now, please give me 7 days past the due date to get your assignments graded, and usually get them graded before then. But you're not going to submit it. So you're not going to submit this assignment and see your grade right away like you are on the others. The other assignment here is a table rock flyer, and it's the same kind of thing. You've got your instructions here and you've got your data file. Follow the instructions. I will tell you on the table rock flyer, it wants you to put a border around the edge of the page. And when you submit that in Blackboard, that border is not going to appear in that preview pane. Remember, I download your original document. I download the file you submitted, and your border is going to be there. So don't stress that. So this week in Module 3, you've got your typing that you need to do. You've got there's your text you want to review for at least 10-15 minutes. You've got Word Module 1 assignment or training. You've got the Word Module 1 project to do, Worldwide Communication Flyer, and the Table Rock Flyer. And it's all due September 11th. As always, reach out to me if you have questions. I'm here for you. I have office hours on Tuesday evening, so if you want to schedule a meeting to meet with me on Tuesday night, I am available at that point in time. Or if we need to schedule a meeting at a different time, just let me know and I'll work around your schedule. Have a good week, and reach out again. As I said, if you have questions, I'm here to help you be successful. Have fun working in Word. Bye-bye.